My name is Jen Lyman, and I am going to call this meeting to order. We do have two missing board members, but I am assuming they are on their way, so they will be okay. Grateful that they're on premises. There's one. Okay, and board member Rex had her phone was at home, so she ran home to get it, and hopefully she'll be getting here soon. Okay, to start our meeting, we are going to be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Abby Olson. Colin, do you want to grab it? Can you all rise, please? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Abby. Abby is the drum major for Pleasant Grove High School's marching band. Our inspirational thought will now be given by Colin Gill, an assistant principal at Pleasant Grove High School.
Is that working? Yes, great. I'm Colin. This is fun. I wrote down a little quote that I thought was inspirational to me and has some meaning for a new year, a new school board, a new district, and so I think it can be applied in many different ways. But this is from Conrad Anker, a famous climber, and he says, "The summit is what drives us, but the climb itself is what matters." So I like that because it applies in many different ways. If you're a high school student, we've got several out here, then maybe you're thinking about getting a certain GPA or certain college credits, and that's motivating and that's good, but the experience of your education is much more. Maybe there's life lessons that you learn. Maybe there's connections that you make or relationships that you make, and those things last with you even longer than those other, your GPA. But I also like it because starting a new district can seem like a climb, and there's maybe some challenges or opportunities that arise with that. But through those opportunities and challenges, that's where our culture is created and defined. And that's where really good things and good learning happens that really define who we are as a district. And so that's why that quote resonates with me. It makes me excited to be part of a new and a fun chapter in kind of this area of Utah County. So.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gill. I'm going to now turn the time over to Board Member Fugel to do a recognition. We have an exciting recognition tonight.
I got it on. Okay. Well, I am pleased to recognize a group of students along with their director, Kristen Suko, who truly lived out last year's theme, make a beautiful noise. From the rehearsals last May through summer heat, early morning and late nights, and countless hours of dedication, the PGHS Marching Band and Color Guard have committed themselves to something bigger than a single performance. They committed to excellence, teamwork, the heart, and a championship. Their season reached its powerful final last November in St. George, where the joyful noise echoed all the way to the top, earning them the 5A State Scholastic Championship. What is so amazing about this achievement is the discipline, unity these students displayed every step of the way. They didn't just play music or perform routines, they told a story, created emotion, and represented our school with pride. Now, being from Pleasant Grove, we welcomed these people back wholeheartedly that evening when they got back, and we were so proud of them and what they have accomplished for the Pleasant Grove High School Marching Band. Way to go.
Okay, that was exciting. We're excited to have Pleasant Grove as part of our district for sure. I have a quick recognition as well that I would like to add. If I could have Jill Davis come up. There you go. Neither is always necessary. Hey, stand right here for just a second so everybody can see your beautiful face. Jill has been, she's the secretary here at the SPED office, right? Administrative assistant, and she runs things here. And she has been so helpful for us as we have been doing our superintendent search. She has coordinated things, been here, stayed here till 8 o'clock every night to allow our screeners to have access in the evening. So we just greatly appreciate all of her help. So everybody give her a round of applause. Thank you, Jill. All right, we're moving right along. Okay, we now have 30 minutes set aside for public comment. This opportunity is allocated for patrons living within the Timpanogos School District boundary. A sign-up sheet was available prior to this meeting, allowing up to 10 patrons the opportunity to speak. Those living outside of Timpanogos School District and those who were unable to sign up before all slots were full can submit written comments at www.alpinesschools.org/o/Timpanogos-district/page/board. As you're called up, please introduce yourself by stating your name, and then you will be given up to 3 minutes to speak. We will have a timer going, and it will go off when the 3 minutes is up. While the board does not engage in a discussion during the public comment period, they may arrange to communicate with you later. Personnel issues are not appropriate discussion items for an open meeting environment. If you have a personnel concern, please put your concerns in writing and address it to the Board of Education. Oops. Okay, our first public commenter is Tony Kretschmer of Orem. If you want to come here to the front, Tony, and we have a microphone for you.
I want to make sure that Sterling gets his and Grace gets hers. Hello, board members. I think most of you know me. I've known some of you for, 15 years? And others for not quite as long, but I appreciate all of you. I'm here to especially express my appreciation for you listening to us, your constituents, when it comes to the name of our district. I think there might have been some either miscommunication or understanding that maybe what was suggested in the second survey was not what the majority of us wanted. I appreciate the new survey that just came out Sunday. I have been promoting that to the fullest of my ability. Up at the front, and I gave all of you a letter from the Timpanogos tribal leader, Mary Myers. She wrote a letter of thanks and giving us permission as a district to use their name. And she mentioned specifically that she wanted us to use their name in its entirety. She does not like the shortened verb of Timp. She said that, I guess, I was going to read the letter, but I knew that I timed it. The letter, just reading it out loud, is way more than 3 minutes. But I do want to read just some highlights. It is a pleasure to learn that Timpanogos is being considered as a name for the new school district. We would like to share a brief history about you. The Timpanogos presence can be tracked in a map formed from the 1500s to 1848 when the name Timpanogos was removed from the lake and changed to the Great Salt Lake. Our holy mountain, Timpanogos, still carries its name. Then she gives some history on it. I'm going to skip down a few paragraphs. I was asked if using the Timpanogos name for the school district would be offensive to us. The Timpanogos name has been used for businesses, highways, a temple, and others, and no one has ever asked us before. For that, we thank you. Remembering the first people and who we are is never offensive. It's only offensive when people dissect our name and use it to taunt us and our children, calling us Timps, Timpy, and others. For this reason, we suggest our full name, Timpanogos. Education is important. The youth hold the keys, as they will be the future leaders, teachers, doctors, and nurses. We would be honored for our name to be chosen for this noble cause. If our name is chosen, if you would like, we would be honored to share history, culture, crafts, and even a fish drying at one of your activities. Let students experience what the people that were here before them were like and who we are today. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, World Peace Ambassador, Doctor of Humanities, Mary Murdoch Meyer, Chief Executive, Timpanogos Nation.
Thank you, Mr. Cuthbert. Our next commenter is Jenna Flood. And Catherine Tyler. Was that on here? Okay, we are a duet. I'm Jenna Flood. I am the French teacher at Oak Canyon Junior High, and in Alpine School District, I am also the World Language Instructional Coach.
I am Catherine Tyler. I am the French teacher at the PG High School, and we also have some appointments, some assignments at the district level.
Yep, I'm the instructional coach, and Kat is
The PD, the Professional Development Lead for all world languages.
And we're excited just for the opportunity a new district gives us to talk about the importance and the excitement that we have for world languages. Obviously, it's Catherine and I's passion, but we hope that we can give a little bit of that to everybody else as well. We love the opportunity that we have to introduce students to the whole world in our classrooms, and the real world problems and the real world solutions and the collaboration and the communication that we get to teach students. We get to do it all in a target language, but it's skills that they use every single day of their lives. We are really proud in Alpine School District. The national average for students earning the seal of biliteracy is 4%, and the Alpine School District last year, 13% of our graduates graduated with the seal of biliteracy. We are preparing our students for the world that they live in right now.
Okay, I agree with everything she said, and I think that it is an exceptional and important opportunity that we have at the beginning of this district to think about world languages as a foundation of the academic that we are going to offer to our students. The world today is very diverse, and learning a different language helps us to actually think differently and to understand perspectives that are different throughout the world. And I think it is crucial for us to help us become better world citizens.
Amen. Thank you very much. Next, we have Jordan Blanchard.
Hi, board members. I currently work at Mountain View High School. I'm within the physical education department, and I specifically teach strength and conditioning. I wanted to share with you some exciting things that our teachers have been doing, and just how great our teachers are within this district and our new district. Teachers within our PE departments helped write the state core for strength and conditioning a few years ago. So now the weightlifting classes for strength and conditioning can apply as a lifetime activity. That was possible before 5 years ago. Oftentimes you'll find our PE teachers and our strength and conditioning teachers presenting at the Shape Utah Conference. That's the Society of Health and Physical Educators. Every year we have presenters there. And throughout all of that time, we've been promoting weightlifting as an activity for fitness and success. Brockmore at Pleasant Grove High School has been organizing a state weightlifting meet for almost 10 years now. And it started with just a couple of schools. Last year, there were over 20 schools that participated. It grew so large that we could not host the event on a single day. So now Mountain View hosts a divisional for states or schools in the south half of Utah. Cedar Valley hosts one for schools in the north. So total, it's probably over 600 athletes that participate through divisionals. That's both boys and girls, grades 9 through 12. And I wanted to issue an invitation to you on Wednesday, April 15th. There will be a divisional qualifier. That divisional qualifier will be held at Mountain View High School in the performance weight room. So there will be a lot of Mountain View kids there, but there will be some Timpanogos High School kids. Our PG kids will be up at Cedar Valley that day. And then students who qualify out of that divisional will compete at the state meet or the unofficial state meet on Wednesday, April 29th. And again, that will be at Pleasant Grove High School. So if you would attend either one of those days, you would be more than welcome. And I think you would see a lot of kids just happy to be there. It's an unusual athletic experience. Often in athletics, we want to beat or pummel or other things the opponent. My observation in this event specifically has been people cheering for others as they do the best they've ever done before, even when they're competing from different schools and things like that. So your invitation on April 15th and April 29th to attend those activities. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Blanchard. Can I request that you follow this up with an email to each of us with the specifics? Because I don't know that any of us were able to write it down. A calendar invite, that would be great. Thank you very much. Our next commenter is Lisa Baldwin.
Thank you. I wasn't going to stand up tonight, but I just decided I would lend my support behind the district name decisions. First of all, I've lived in Orem for 26 years, and my kids all went to school in Orem, and so it's meaningful to me that we have this wonderful brand new opportunity for a school district, and I did write, as you know, to each of you, and I wanted to first of all thank you for your respectful and kind replies, it was so heartening to me and gave me a lot of hope and happiness, knowing that you guys are. This is exactly the kind of people who are in the right place at the right time, and I'm really grateful for that. And I want to even just publicly encourage all people who interact especially in the formation of this new district, to let's all assume the very best about each other. And I hated seeing online some things, not too terrible, but little smatterings of negative assumptions about people, and I didn't like that. And I just want to encourage us all to follow your example in this regard, and I really love that. And I also want to thank you for listening to suggestions. I was really thrilled when Mr. Kretschmer talked about this letter from Mary Meyer. That thrilled me. It was so neat. And he read all the points of the letter that I wanted to share, but I guess I'll just end by saying that Mount Timpanogos is truly beloved by everyone who can see it, who lives in its shadow. And it's truly a symbol of strength, protection, beauty, and love, all descriptions of what I think will start this school district off really well. And I wanted to lend my support for the name of Timpanogos School District.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate that. Our next commenter is Victoria White, and I don't know that I'm going to get that last name. Okay. Bohorovich.
That is it. I found it.
Yes.
You know it. Perfect. Well, thank you. I forewarned I'm a crier, so I'm going to cry when I do this. And apologies to Guy, because he actually heard me last night at Alpine School District's meeting as well. And Ada did too, so you're going to hear me again. But thank you. My name is Victoria White Bohorovich. I live in Pleasant Grove. And I am coming as a very concerned parent and member of the community to speak for our kids. We have a really hard truth right now that our kids are being hit by cars in the crosswalks, in the school zones. They're doing exactly what we teach them to do. They're walking to school, they're following the rules, And they're trusting that the adults who design and manage our streets have made those streets safe for them to do that. But right now, this trust has really been broken. The number of kids struck by vehicles in crosswalks is rising. These are not rare or unavoidable accidents. They're predictable. They're preventable crashes that occur in places where we know kids will be present, which is our school zones, our crosswalks, and our pickup areas. I personally know of 7 injuries in the last 8 months within range of my own home. This includes 1 death, 2 traumatic brain injuries, and 4 other hits. Unfortunately, 2 of those were just this last Wednesday, only 24 hours into a brand new school semester. And while cities technically control the roads, schools are not powerless in this conversation, and that's why I'm here tonight. Our school boards have moral authority and influence and a responsibility to advocate for the safety of these kids. When a child is hit in a school crosswalk, it's not just a city issue. This is a school safety issue. Because right now in many school zones, the system's failing them. We have school crossings where drivers are traveling way too fast. Crosswalks are faded or poorly marked. Sightlines are blocked by parked cars and trees. There are no flashing beacons, and kids are expected to cross multiple lanes of traffic with nothing but paint on the road, and the paint is not going to protect them. And this is where the school board matters. This is where you guys matter. You approve our school sites. You oversee student safety policies. You speak collectively for thousands of families, and your voice carries weight with our city leaders. And I'm asking you to use that voice. I'm asking you to help us as cities to formally evaluate our school zones. Ask them to treat school crossings as high-risk locations by default. Ask them to implement proven safety measures now and not later. Ask them to report back publicly with what they're doing to protect these kids. We know that under MUTCD law, our road laws, that cities are legally expected to do an engineering safety review after any kid is struck in a school zone, and these are not happening without advocacy. The schools also have to update their safe route programs, and we need more of that happening. Safety should not depend on whether a parent is persistent enough or a tragedy has already occurred, because we've already had tragedies. Every child deserves the same level of protection, regardless of their zip code or the street they walk on. Vision Zero, which is a national program, teaches us that traffic deaths are not inevitable. They are the result of choices, design choices, policy choices, and priority choices. And we can choose differently, and we can choose prevention, and we can choose to act before another family's forever changed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I appreciate that. While the board doesn't engage in discussion, I do want to make just a couple of comments to let you know that we heard. I will let you know that the letter from the Timpanogos Nation will be in our board documents that will follow with our minutes. Free if we can do that. And then a 13% seal of biliteracy rate. That's awesome for our district. I think it's great. I think people are really good at coming up with acronyms, and the acronym SHAPE is really, really awesome for someone that's lifting weights. So it's exciting. And yeah, I'm grateful for all the other comments. We hear you. I hope you understand that. Okay, let's move on in our agenda. Okay, first of all, we have our approval of minutes. The board, you were sent the minutes for several of our meetings in our board documents. The last few meetings, the 10th, the 17th, and a work session, another work session, right? I will entertain a motion for approval of the minutes as they were sent to you.
I move that we approve the minutes.
We have a motion by Board Member Smith. Can I get a second?
I second.
I have a second by Board Member Hilton. All in favor of approving the minutes as they were posted? Oh, sorry. Any discussion about the minutes? Okay, seeing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, looks like they were approved unanimously. Okay, next we have the approval of our expenditure detail report and claims, which were also sent to you and are included in the board documents that were posted. Is there any question? Is there any? Do I motion to approve them as sent to you? Can I? Board Member Smith, can I get a second? Board Member Sorensen seconds that motion. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of approving the expenditure detail report and claims, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, the expenditure detail report and claims are passed. Okay, now we get to move on to some of our fun things. Okay, we have put forth, and I'm going to address this, the calendar adoption. So last school year, Alpine School District put together a committee composed of administrators, teachers, classified employees, and students and parents. Created this committee. Usually they do a calendar for like a year ahead of time. And they decided this year they were going to do multiple years ahead of time to give the 3 districts a 3-year same calendar to propose to us. So I am proposing it to the board. I actually can speak to this because I was part of this committee that created this calendar. It is a very difficult process. There's so many things. They've done a lot of surveys with the employees, asking them what they would prefer. The thing that they prefer most is to have 3 weekends at Christmas break. That is by far like one of their highest. You can go on Alpine's website and find the survey results from that survey if you're so inclined. And we worked with these parameters, trying to keep in mind the desires of all interested parties. So I would like to make a motion that we approve the calendar so that we are on the same page. This will help with the transition as well, that we will be on the same page as the Lake Mountain and Aspen Peaks districts for the first couple of years. At that point, we may want to diverge. We might have our own needs and own concerns as we address our students and our teachers and employees and parents. Then we might want to diverge at some point. But I think for this transition, for a lot of families, especially as things are settling, to have something. So I am going to make that motion that we approve the calendar through 2030 as proposed by the Alpine School District. So I'm making that motion. Can I get a second?
I second the motion.
Grace, Board Member Rex seconds the motion. Can we have a discussion, please? I already said all my piece, so I'm good.
You get the second.
You got to turn on.
Does it just come on? No, it just comes on. Just to clarify, based on when I glanced at it, looked at it, this is for next year for Alpine School District. And then it's also for the first year of our new school district, 2027 to 28. And then for the following year as well. Is that the 3 years?
No, it starts in 27, 28 is the first year, so it would start in August of 27. So that would be the first operating year.
So 26, 27 has already been approved by Alpine.
Yes,
that really
yes,
doesn't
that was approved ahead of time. So this is
so 27, 28, 28, 29, 29, 30.
Yeah.
And would we have a chance to revisit this if our needs so inspired us to do so?
I think so. I mean, yes, we can amend it.
All right.
Remember, you told me we're the boss.
We are. Okay, thank you.
I didn't serve on the committee that recommended these calendars, but I did attend the board meetings when they were presented and discussed, and I know that a lot of time and effort and feedback went into preparing these calendars, and so I think that they are very thoughtful. One of the most it looks like it got a little messed up as we brought it over from Alpine's website to our slideshow. But I know a lot of us really appreciated the teacher work day that we had that first day back from break. And so lots of feedback like that went into preparing these calendars, getting out before Memorial Day, things like that. So I wholeheartedly approve these calendars as they are now to help us move forward. But I do like the idea that we would be able to, as we get started as a district and hear any feedback or concerns that we hear, would be able to amend as needed.
I have a couple of questions. I'm wondering, does anyone on the board know how far in advance we typically put calendars? Is it typical to put them this far in advance?
I think it's 2 years typical.
This would have been just 1 year. So calendar committee usually just does 1 year at a time. So it would have been the 27-28 year. So they do it 1 year at a time, but they do it 2 years in advance. Mm-hmm. And I think there was some joyful noise from some of the elementary teachers. I think we did some things around Halloween that would make things good. But I can't remember. I'm looking at it. I'm trying, like it didn't transfer very well. But
I just wanted to point out that in our board documents, there is a link to the survey that you referenced, President Lyman. And it also just bullet points. These are the key findings from that survey in order of how much parents want it. Extended winter break with 3 weekends is number 1. In school before Memorial Day, number 2. 3 is a full week for spring break. And 4 is start school as late as possible in August. And then 5 is have terms and semesters as equal in length as possible. That's for teachers, and for students really, so that things don't get lopsided in the calendar year. But I also wanted to point out that in our discussions about sharing transportation, the transportation system, which we have explored, we visited the bus garage, thank you. One important part of that is sharing a calendar. They cannot coordinate things if we're not on the same calendar.
thank you, Board Member Wilson, for bringing that up.
So that leads me to another question, which is, has Lake Mountain and Aspen Peaks adopted these calendars as well? Okay, thanks. Good information.
I just want to say that I agree. It'll be really good for all 3 districts to be on the same page for the next few years.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Oh, I did want to mention, I think I said this, but we did have students on that committee. So we had they had a student from every area of the new districts. So we had a student from the west, from the central, and from the south. So that was really, really interesting to listen to them and their thoughts and have a different perspective on the world sometimes, but it was great. Okay, so I have the motion has been made and seconded. Can all in favor of adopting the calendar as shown here? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, great. Next, we have a discussion and vote on the district name. This is going to be coming from our naming committee, so I'm going to turn the time to Board Member Sorensen to put forth that information.
Okay, I would love board members to also chime in on this process that we've been through. Each survey that we put out generated over 5,000 responses. So our community input has been overwhelmingly such a robust, but it's also really energizing for us as a board to have so much community input, and we appreciate your investment in our new district. And we are appreciative of that. And I'm just going to share the results of the last survey that began on Sunday and finished on Tuesday morning. We added a different question into this survey, and it was name choice by high school. And we thought that this would be really good information for us to gather to see how views reflect with the sensitivity to Timpanogos High School already being in existence in our district and adopting the name Timpanogos School District. So you can see that some clusters do share a little reservation with the name, but overall, Timpanogos is the most favored name for our district across the board. All right, and then we broke it out by role, and so parents and community members and employees mostly like the name. There was some reservation from students about the name Timpanogos School District. And it was interesting to see from the data that Orchard and Geneva are pretty equal in how much people preferred that name. And finally, here's the cumulative name choice. Pretty overwhelming that on a whole, our community does like the name Timpanogos School District. And we heard from lots of people, and we would like, just to put forth this name as Timpanogos School District for our new district. And I think board member president needs to make that motion.
Yeah, no, I don't make, she can make the motion, right? Yes, I will entertain a motion. So the naming committee has put forth the name Timpanogos School District. Can I have someone make a motion that we approve that name?
That we name our new school district Timpanogos School District.
That motion has been made by board member Wilson. Can I get a second? I have a second from board member Hilton. Now I'd like to open it up for discussion, and I'm going to start with the discussion because I have a microphone. So one of the concerns that I had when we were doing this process was the fact that I represent a non-Orem area, and the concern was that Timpanogos. So if you can go back a couple of slides. Okay, great. So to see the overwhelming support from Pleasant Grove, the Pleasant Grove High School cluster was interesting to me. It also, the tide turned for me when I got so many emails from people respectfully requesting that they wanted the full name, that we were trying. I've joked with some friends that we were trying to play Solomon, and we were trying to split a baby. And we were trying to please everyone, and in doing so, we were making everybody mad. So I recognize that fact that it was a process I think we had to go through to get the information that we eventually got from our constituents. And for me representing Pleasant Grove and Linden, I think this squashes some of my concerns that it would be a territorial name. And I think they just talked about how we are all at the foot of Timpanogos, and so it could be very unifying.
I just want to express, I think, Lisa Baldwin, you did a beautiful job of expressing how our community feels about this name. They just really feel that it's inspiring. I really love that no matter where you are in the United States, you can Google this name and it will pinpoint it right here. It's unique, and it will identify where this school district is. Yeah, I think that is one of the things that I really liked about it.
Board member Wilson, can I ask you a question? Sure. Were you initially happy about this name?
Yeah, I really believe in process. And I know that the process is that the board, nothing is final until the board makes a vote. So even now, it's not final until we vote. And I just like honoring process. And so I was a little resistant to putting forward the name and using it all over the place. I do recognize that there was some convenience in having a temporary name. But once I thought about the name and looked at all the possibilities, I was a believer, so.
You know, I was a member of the interlocal as mayor of Pleasant Grove, and we just hated the South designation. So one of the first things we did was says, we got to give this a temporary name, knowing that the school district, the new board would name it whatever they wanted to name it because of it. And we spent a whole afternoon debating that a little bit there for an hour or so. And so I feel validated because we really, with the 4 city, and it was the 4 mayors, the 4 city managers, 4 council members, and our general counsel from each. And we just came up unanimously with Timpanogos and thought, hey, that just fits where we sit. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. So anyway, not that I told you so, but anyway, but I wanted to hear what the input from, and it doesn't surprise me that that we got the feedback.
Before everybody jumps on the Yay Timpanogos bandwagon, I come from the Mountain View area. And if you look up there, it wasn't popular in the Mountain View. It wasn't unpopular, 50%. It wasn't unifying. It just doesn't feel unifying. The people I talk to, not who take the survey, but the people I talk to are all, let's not name it Timpanogos, anything but Timpanogos. I suggested many times that it's not Timpanogos I look at all the mountains. And in fact, I thought looking at the view of the mountains was really, really positive, that maybe we should call it Mountain View. And of course, anybody from the east part of the east part of Orem would say, no, Timpanogos, well, how would you feel if we said Mountain View? And now Timpanogos is getting Mountain View's name. I still believe that. I don't find it unifying at all. And so I speak against it. If you look at the student population, we always say it's all about the students. Look at the students. Students aren't in favor, but why would they be? If you went to Mountain View, why would you want Timpanogos? If you went to Orem, why would you want Timpanogos? If you went to Pleasant Grove, why would you want Timpanogos? If you look at Timpanogos, and they do want Timpanogos, that makes sense. So that's my 2 cents worth. I'm not in favor of Timpanogos. I don't find it unifying. I don't think it's popular in my area.
Thank you, David.
I'd like to share a little bit of the thought process I've been through on this. The goal that we set for a name was to unify the district. And the first open response survey that we got did overwhelmingly say Timpanogos School District, and we shared that data. Probably where we fell short as a board and where we've learned is we didn't share the negative data. And there was a lot of not Timpanogos, that was it was very polarizing. And so as a board, when we were considering the second survey, like President Lyman says, we were trying to split the baby. We were trying to honor the will of the people or the popularity of the name, but yet not play favoritism with the high school and include the whole name. So that's a little bit of where our mindset was. And also a lot of people have said, well, many districts and high schools share a name, and that is true. But a district is typically named first, and the high school comes after. And in this situation, Timpanogos High School has been a part of our community for 30 years. So we didn't want to tip the name towards Timpanogos High School if it was going to be cause division. And I went through a lot of research and looked up where the name Timpanogos came from, and found in the U of U research library that the name Timpanoquint actually means water running over rocks or a stream in a rocky bed. And so as, that's just a little thing, but as I came to hear the feedback and think about the name more myself, I thought that really kind of fits with our vision of our new district. And if you haven't had a chance to see our vision, it is high levels of genuine learning for each student in an environment of exceptional care, curiosity, and community. And that piece of genuine learning, we want to continually learn as a board, as a school district, and parents and employees. And I feel like this name, Timpanogos, where it has rocks, with the water running over the rocks and continually running, that I think that could nod to continually learning. And so I've come around to the name Timpanogos, and especially in my area, there is a lot of approval for that name.
Can I say something? As a mother of many dyslexic children, and I probably gave it to them, let's be real. The thought of naming the district Timpanogos for me was just a hazard, with all the kids not being able to spell it. And I had many administrators and teachers say, please not Timpanogos, that will be such a pain to write out all the time. So I kind of was waiting to see what the survey came back before I made any big opinion. But the first survey that we sent out came back. Did you know that there are 22 ways, wait, what was it, 11, sorry, it felt like 22. No, there are 11 different ways to spell Timpanogos. And when I looked at who was spelling it wrong, the minority were the children, the students. This is community members, this is educators, this is parents. We're all spelling it wrong. And it's not that we mean to spell it wrong. It's really easy to mistype and not notice that you mistyped it. And so you don't change it. There's a lot of vowels in there. So as you can see, I grew up here in Utah County. I love the mountain Timpanogos. I really do. But I never called it Timpanogos growing up. I always called it Tim. And so I didn't see a problem with maybe, splitting the baby and actually making it easier for everybody, but still showing that this is Mount Timpanogos. I mean, Mount Timpanogos. I didn't know that the Timpanogos Nation would have a problem with it being shortened because people have called them Timps and Timpy before. That's kind of sad. But I love the name Timpanogos. I'm going to vote for the name Timpanogos because I think at this point we are unified on Timpanogos for the most part. However, I would like to ask everybody who is in our district to just be kind to everybody who can't spell it right away, or who misses it once in a while. Don't make fun of people. Don't call teachers dumb or anything if they happen to mix up two of the letters. Let's just all be really kind about the name Timpanogos.
Good. This has been an interesting process for me. I think there is a great deal of power in naming, and I certainly have experienced it, and anyone who has been a parent understands that. I mean, that there is something that's powerful in offering and giving a name. And so while at some level, naming our district, what does it impact the education that's happening in the district? Probably not very much at all. And yet from another perspective, from an emotional and a symbolic perspective, I think it's actually very important. And I see both sides. I can see why Timpanogos is a great name. I can see why others might feel that it is not a great name. And I can see both sides. I think this is a great opportunity for all of us, ourselves included. And I think we as a board are generally seeing that the majority of our constituents across schools and across roles really do claim that name of Timpanogos to represent us. And so I think it gives us an opportunity for those of us who might not have chosen that as our first choice to recognize that we are going to be making decisions in a way that is symbolic for our work moving forward. We will not be able to please everyone because everyone doesn't have the same opinion. Everyone doesn't have the same needs. And so we as a board have then the opportunity to deliberate and to consider and then to make a choice that is going to hopefully be in the best interest for the majority of the people. Anyway, so I'm actually on board with going forward with Timpanogos myself.
Board Member Hilton brought up a good point as far as the importance of helping us understand the process and helping the public understand the process, where we had a naming committee working on this, and they were meeting and doing the work behind the scenes and gauging our interests. We abide by the open public meeting laws, so we aren't meeting and discussing these things. We're doing this now, as you see in front of you, and so I appreciate that opportunity to demonstrate that we weren't meeting behind closed doors. We're trying to be as transparent as possible in our processes. So we have committees that will be working on things. They will be, of course, talking to board members, and we've each been contacted and our wishes made understood, but it comes here in front of our public to vote on it. So with that being said, all in favor of the name Timpanogos for our new district, say aye. Oh, okay. We'll do a roll call vote. So Board Member Fugel, all in favor of the name Timpanogos School District for our district. Board
Yes.
Member Fugel? Board Member Rex? Yes. Board Member Wilson?
Yes.
Board Member Hilton?
Yes.
Board Member Lyman, yes. Board Member Sorensen?
Yes.
Board Member Smith?
No.
Thank you. With a vote of 6-1, the name will be Timpanogos School District. So. Okay. Thank you all for coming. We have need of a closed session for the purpose of, yes. Oh, we need to do our board. I'm so very sorry. I forgot this. We are now going to take a moment for board member comments. This is an opportunity for board members to share what they've been experiencing over the last couple of weeks. So, Board Member Fugel, let's start with you.
You know, our public input tonight was really good, and I would like to address you and thank you. It's tough, you know, and I don't know why in Pleasant Grove we've had the rash of but when something like this happens, the mayor's pretty well notified, and I responded to the scene on 2 of those, and that 2 of the boys, the young boys that were, and that it doesn't make a good day. But I go to support my chief of police, my fire chief, and my EMS, my police officers. It's really tough on them, and we debrief afterwards, and we say, what can we do? And I hope that we as a district, along with the cities, can kind of put together an awareness program to our public, so we're paying more attention to when we're driving. It's just kids in crosswalks. There's just no excuse for why that's happening. And hey, I have a saying: you can't fix stupid. And it is just stupid driving that is, and we're just not attentive enough. So I hope we can work together and hopefully see our numbers go down, and hopefully we can solve this. So I know the Pleasant Grove City's working on it, and we're doing all we can to make sure our crosswalks are newly painted. We've taken out trees that people don't want us to take the trees out, but they're on city property, and we says they're coming out because they're blocking the traffic. So we're there city-wise. It's just, I think we just need more to help our, so anyway, so that's what I'd like to be with you. So thank you for coming tonight. And we do have a problem, and we need to work on it together.
Thank you, Board Member Fugel. Board Member Rex?
Yes, I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to our new building. Well, it's not new, as some of you noticed, but it is a little difficult to find. So I'm impressed that all of you made it, and we're so excited to be in this building. And for all the wonderful people who work here who have helped us.
I also want to say thank you to 36 professionals and community members who have served as our screeners for our superintendent search. We're going to be working hard with their work, but the things that the input that they have given us are vital. It's vital to our decisions going forward. So thank you to 36 wonderful people.
Yeah, I will echo that thanks as well. As a member of the hiring committee, I've appreciated the willingness of the board members and also of the community members who have helped us in the screening process. We received a lot of applications for our superintendent position, and that was gratifying. And they are solid individuals. And when we were starting and asking individuals to help us in this and reviewing those applications, we didn't anticipate that there might be this many applications. And well, I'm not going to go on record as saying that I did, but no one else did. And so the time, well, anyway, the time that then the screeners had to put in order to screen all of the applications, because we felt like it was important in the process that if someone was going to screen one application, that they screen all of the applications so that we can get a consistent piece of information across across all of the screeners. Anyway, they put in a significant amount of time, and it's going to be it has been and will be very helpful to us. And as we move forward in the next couple of weeks in interviewing candidates and then reducing then to another round of interviews, we're really hoping to move forward and select the right person to lead our district. And I want to just say that I'm really encouraged by the applicants that we've received.
Board Member Swanson?
I would like to invite everyone to our district celebration. It will be on February the 11th at Timpanogos High School. And there we want to highlight our newness. And we're going to work to have our branding ready to reveal that night. Also, we're working to reveal, we won't reveal, but we'll introduce our superintendent. And we're going to also just have a celebration by representing all 4 high schools' talent. We're going to put together a combined choir, a combined band, combined string section, and student coalitions be represented at this evening. And so it will be a wonderful night to come and celebrate our new district and be together and learn more and be together, I guess.
I have a couple things. First, we've, I think, settled on the colors. It's going to be cardinal red and gold for our colors for the new district, if that's okay. I wanted to speak a little bit for your benefit about the screeners. We invited certified people from our district, from the people who work within our district, our new district, our South District, Timpanogos District, as well as certified, as well as admin, not only from schools, but also from the district office, Alpine School District office that lived in our boundaries. We also had community members. The mayor was invited to select somebody to come and help us. And then we also, as board members, selected an additional 2 people per board member that could come and screen. And then the last thing I wanted to say is we've spent this afternoon, and we'll most Wednesdays in the afternoon, spend time visiting the facilities that we have. So we visited all our empty lots, empty schools, or non-school buildings, lots that we own. And today we visited 4 schools plus the Space Center. We started up north at Pleasant Grove and are moving south, and so we'll visit all of those every Wednesday, or nearly every Wednesday in the afternoon. We'll visit 4 schools-ish, and we're anxious. We're just interested to see kind of what the facility looks like, meet the principal, hear what they have to say about the facility and about what's happening at their school. And so those of you who are employees, you probably will see us. Those of you who are not, that's what we're doing, just to kind of learn about our facilities and our properties that we have. So.
Okay, and I just want to take a moment. Gosh, I might cry. I just want to take a moment, and I don't know if they're listening. They're probably not here because they're at home keeping things running, but I want to recognize each of our families, our spouses, and our families who are supporting us so much in this effort. It takes a lot of time. We've put in a lot of time. This is a very unique experience. We attended the Utah School Boards Association conference this last weekend, and in talking with other school board leaders, and the experience, they're trying to give us some advice or stuff, and I'm like, you don't understand what we have here. We have some support from Alpine School District, but these 7 people up here are doing so much work, and we are being supported from home by wonderful people, and I want to publicly thank them for the time and effort that they are putting in on all of our behalfs. So I'm going to end with that. And is there any other comments from our board? Okay, we do have need to go into a closed session for the purpose of discussing personnel, litigation, or property. I will, and before I entertain a motion, I understand that we will probably want to visit, and we welcome some visiting, but then we're going to kick you guys out because we have a lot of work to do in our closed session. It's exciting work. But, so I will entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I motion that we go into closed session.
We have a motion from Board Member Rex. Can I get a second to go into closed session?
I second that we go into closed session.
A second from Board Member Hilton. We have a need to go, for the purpose of personnel, litigation or property. And then we need to do a roll call vote for going into closed session. So I will start with Board Member Fugel.
Yes.
Board Member Rex.
Yes.
Board Member Wilson.
Yes.
Board Member Hilton.
Yes.
Board Member Lyman, yes. Board Member Sorensen. Board Member Smith.
No. Just kidding. Yeah.
Okay, so we are moving into closed session, and we will turn off the recorder.